December is arguably the month with the most amount of holidays celebrated in the world. Apart from just Christmas, there's also Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, the list goes on. Even if you don't celebrate a holiday, it's still a time to get together with family and friends. But for some, on December 24th, 1953, it was a nightmare. This is the story of the 1953 Tangiwai train disaster. On December 24th, 1953, the express train that was going from Wellington to Auckland, which consisted of a KA-class steam locomotive hauling 11 carriages in order, 5 second class, 4 first class, a guards van, and a postal van. The train was currently stopped at Hihitahi to the south of Tangiwai, New Zealand, and was departing for Okahukune, which was to the north. The train had 285 passengers and crew, including Nerissa Love, the current fiancée of famous cricket player Bob Blair, who was currently playing in a test match in South Africa. While at Hihitahi, the passengers and crew exchanged Christmas greetings and even have a few jokes with each other. I mean, come on, it's Christmas time. Even on the job, you gotta have some fun at least. The train departed Hihitahi on time at 10:20 and passed Tangiwai at around 40 miles per hour, although the track speed at the time was 50 miles per hour. The passengers were getting in for a good night's sleep, hoping to arrive at Auckland later in the day. However, Cyril Ellis, a passerby, noticed in his truck that the road bridge was completely flooded by the Whangahu River. He also noticed that the bridge that was supporting the railroad tracks had several supports missing or were dislodged. A massive wave destroyed the bridge and it collapsed into the river. Then Cyril notices the light of the express train traveling full speed at 50 miles an hour. He quickly jumps out with a torch in hand and desperately tries to warn the crew of the danger, hoping to get at least stop or slow down before hitting the bridge. But the crew at the time didn't know what the man's intentions were, thinking he was some sort of lunatic or he was just playing a joke on them. But when they saw the raging river beside them, they immediately hit the emergency brakes and shut off steam, thanks to Lance Reedman and Charles Parker. But it wasn't enough to avoid the inevitable. The locomotive, tender, and the first 5 carriages of the train, all being second class, plunged into the river. The 6th carriage, being the first class carriage of the consist, was hanging precariously over the bridge, or at least what was left of the bridge. Meanwhile, all the other carriages were floating down the river or were completely destroyed, their occupants still inside. After the train stopped, Cyril Ellis informed the train's conductor, William Angus, about what had happened, and they desperately tried to get passengers out of the train as it was still precariously balanced on the edge of the bridge. The coupling was so strong, in fact, that it didn't actually give way until much later. While they were still inside, the coupling of the coach from the 6th to 7th finally gave up, and the coach fell into the river with all its occupants that were still left inside. Once the river had settled, the train and bridge were in a tangled mess. Of the 24 occupants in the first-class coach that fell into the river, only one was killed, a girl who was trapped in her seat and drowned. But when the final death count came in, it was staggering. Of the 285 people on board, 151 had died. Rescue operations came later in the evening and into the next day, if you've been paying attention. It was Christmas Day, 1953. But how, you may be wondering, how could such an accident occur? An investigation was launched by the New Zealand government. It was discovered that when the bridge collapsed, Cyril Ellis had seen its final gasps of life. The bridge had faced many rivers like this before, going crazy, but it was not strong enough to withstand the raging river on that 24th December in 1953. It was apparently too weak to support itself, and also there was no early warning system to warn the train or the road bridge or people passing on the road bridge about the danger. Nowadays, the bridge is equipped with an early warning system that actually is really cool on how it works. If it detects that the water level is higher than a normal point, then it automatically shuts down the bridge for the roads and automatically sets all the signals near the bridge to danger, warning trains not to cross. Because of this, it has saved many trains and cars from repeating this exact fate. And that brings us to the end of this video. I just wanted to thank you all for watching this video and learning more about the Tangiwai disaster. It is so important to learn from disasters like this because we may never know if they'll be repeated again. I just want to say, on my last words, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm out.